Good morning, dear students. Welcome back. Today, we are going to study the very first chapter of your book, Beehive, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. This chapter is quite interesting the way it has been written, and you all will be able to connect with the chapter. Why? Let's know about the chapter and then you will come to know why I'm saying that you all will be able to connect with this chapter. The Fun They Had is a science fiction story by American writer Isaac Asimov. It first appeared in a children's newspaper in 1951 and was reprinted in the February 1954 issue of the magazine of fantasy and science fiction, Earth is Room Enough, 50 Short Science Fiction Tales, and the Best of Isaac Asimov. Children, let's have a look at the future school classrooms. So what comes to your mind when you hear future school classrooms? Yes, how schools of the future will be. You all have experienced this during COVID phase. Yes, learning through computers, virtual classroom, and yes, you also have robotic teachers. Robotic teachers means mechanical teachers and moving e-text. So these are some of the features of the schools of the future. Let me give you a brief introduction of the chapter, The Fun They Had. This is a very light story. It is set in the future. It will make all of you love school. The story is regarding school life and how those children who do not go to school miss school. The setting of the story is in the future when perhaps there will be no school, no books. Now, how those students will miss going to school and will feel that their ancestors, that is the present generation, you all had fun going to school, meeting and helping each other. In the end, we come to know that this is an imagination of a young girl named Margie who comes to know that their ancestors used to go to school. All the children used to study together. She feels that they all had a lot of fun when they went to school. So, when we read the story, we feel that school life is very good. And we are fortunate that we have real schools where we go, meet friends, and get a chance to study together. Now, if I ask you a question, how was your experience of virtual classrooms? I mean, the online teaching. I'm sure you all will say the same thing, that you all get bored and you all wanted to come back to your school, isn't it? Now, let's have a look at the story. The Fun They Had is set in the future when books and schools are conducted digitally through virtual classrooms. These classes are taken by a mechanical teacher instead of a human class teacher. The story starts with two children named Margie and Tommy. They live in a world where computers dominate each and every sphere of life and how they attend virtual classes. With the onset of virtual schools, the concept of books in classrooms has transformed considerably from the olden days. I'm sure you all can relate with this story now. You can easily connect yourself with the story as I shared earlier also. On 17th May 2157, Margie wrote in her diary about how Tommy found a real book. It was an old book that consisted of stories. Margie's grandfather once told her that when he was a young boy, his grandfather informed him that all the stories used to be printed on paper in those days. Both Marchie and Tommy started turning the yellow and crumpled pages of the book to discover more about those days. They found it hilarious to read the book as the words stood fixed in one place instead of moving the way they saw on a computer screen. From this, it is clear that in the future there will be telebooks only and no hard copies of books would be available to read. Tommy exclaims that it is an utter waste to read a book and throw it away once completed. He feels that their television screen has 1,000,000 books on it and could store a plenty more without throwing it away. So now you all can see that the books giving way to telebooks, where books have no role. Soon, they start reading about a school during the ancient times when the teachers were human beings rather than mechanical teachers. Although Marchie hated the concept of schools, she is surprised to know actual persons taught at school. This is because she has only seen robots teaching her at school. Moreover, she is not so fond of school, that is, next to her bedroom, as she does not have any classmates and the mechanical teacher always gives her loads of homework to do. So how do you feel, children, when you get loads of homework? I'm sure you all will say the same thing. You don't feel like doing it, isn't it? The same was the condition of Marchie. So both Margie and Tommy study in a virtual classroom that includes electronic gadgets, robots, etc. Their daily lesson appears on a computer screen which teaches them different subjects, maths, science, etc. Once, Marchie's mother called the county inspector to fix the mechanical device on which Marchie attends her virtual classes. He put the big black screen together again on which all the lessons are displayed and the questions are asked. However, the little girl was disappointed about the device getting fixed so soon. She knew she would again need to put homework and test papers into it through a punch code. So children, if I ask you this question, how many of you missed uploading your work on ERP? I'm sure there are many. There are many who skipped the submission. Further, as both the children continue reading the book, Marchie's mother calls her to attend her classes. While Marchie attends her school, the mechanical teacher teaches about fractions, but Marchie's mind starts wandering about the fun her grandparents had while visiting a school in olden days. Those days, a school used to be a special building and all the kids of the same age studied together. She imagines how the kids from different areas in the neighborhood would come together and attend school merrily. Thus, Marchie gets fascinated about the fun the children had centuries ago when they went to a real school having a physical existence. So yes, it's true. We all miss the school when the time was not favorable. And now, you all are back to your normal routine, and I'm sure you all are feeling good about this time because you all missed the time. Now let's have a look at the theme of the story, the fun they had. The main theme in the short story, the fun they had, is that of education. More specifically, the narrative deals with the future of education, which will become increasingly computerized and estranged from social interactions. And we all miss these social interactions during COVID phase. Let's have a look at the message. The author's message is one of warning against the dangers of computerized homeschooling, which deprives children of the benefits of the personal interactions between students and teachers, which help them develop social skills. So I hope the author's message is clear to everyone. So that was all about the chapter, The Fun They Had. Do read the text and mark all your doubts. Thank you so much for watching the video. Take good care of yourself. Bye.